When is essentially the best time to move out of your parents' house? The go-to, usually 25 to 30 on average. But if you really want it, you're going to be thinking like 25 to 30, that's too long. I don't know if I can wait that long. And it's not to be eager to leave just to party and get high and smoke weed and do all that. No. It's less about that. It's more about, you really want to be on your own. You really want to take risks and you really want to do big things in life. You have big goals, big dreams, and you want to get out of that, quote, comfort zone and take that risk, take that leap of faith, no matter what it may be. And yes, in order to do that, you're going to have to struggle essentially at some point. You're going to have to fall on hard times, quote unquote. You're going to have to. All the greatest struggled, fell on hard times, or just kind of just went in a little rut for a little while. But you know why they kept going? Because they still had a mission, they still had a vision. We're not taught in school to keep going when things get hard because we're going to reap the benefits of it in the future. Nah, we're basically taught to just quit like wusses and sissies. That's what we're basically taught. And because too many people don't do that, when someone like you who's in the rare percent who try to do something like that or want to do something like that, you're always going to get certain people with this negative backlash, whether people close to you, friends, family, and everyone, who you would think would support you. Yeah, they support you for the safe route, but the safe route gets you nowhere. Look at the way the society is now. Look at the way times are changing. Society norms are getting outdated from back then. Traditional ways of doing a lot of different things. Making money and especially making money. That's the biggest thing, man. Back then, making money may not have been that important, or you could do the bare minimum and make a livable wage. Back then, if you was in the best shape of your life, you'll just. It's kind of like how it is now, just without social media and everything. But it's like, especially back then, if you were in shape, they automatically would assume you're an athlete, football or basketball player. Now, you don't have to be a quote-unquote athlete to be in the best shape. It still holds up to that standard now. Like, most people who are in shape are athletes, but, now it's either athletes or influencers. That's kind of the new genre now. But other than that, like, we're moving in a different direction in a new time period. So people of the past, whether it be parents, grandparents, or even friends who you grew up with that don't have that, confidence or courage that you have or that you want to do or have those big goals, man, you got to love them from a distance and separate yourself from them. That's just with that. Now let me get back to the moving out. Moving out, it's a big step in the right direction. You want to be on your own. You want to be able not just to say like, I got my own stuff, this, that, and the third, but also that you live by your own rules. Like, it's just to have that independence. Really be on your own. You don't have backup. Essentially, that's kind of how you have to look at it. Like, you don't have backup. Like, you don't have a safety net. Like, you really should strive to get out of there before 25 to 30. If you end up making it, staying between 25 and 30, that's fine. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but if you do end up staying until 25, 30, man, have those years be your hardest and your most grinding, suffering years, basically. Okay? Because if your parents or guardians support you, that's even better. If they don't, and, not everyone is in a lucky position to even go back home. Usually they get kicked out at 17 or 18, when they graduate. And they, can't come back. They just throw them to the wolves. And although that's unfortunate for anyone who may be in that situation or know anyone in that situation, I'm telling you, that's the best thing that can happen to you. You might be thinking I'm crazy for saying that, but it is the best thing that can happen to you. You know why, though? Because it shows that you have to figure things out on your own. And as a young man myself, when you're 18, I look at it like you get thrown to the wolves. I know some people say you have until you're 21, or you have until no later than 25 to get your life together. You know how I look at it? You have until 18 to get your head on your shoulders and to get locked in. That's what I look at it as. Because once you do that at 18, obviously you want to build that up in high school to by the time you're 18, you're good, because usually habits accumulate over time. It'll be hard to kind of switch it, but it's not impossible. But having that mindset at 18, by the time you hit 21 and 25, or pushing 30, you'll be in a better, not only mental state, right, with your mindset and everything, but you'll be in a better state of abundance, because now you have this discipline and this belief and the confidence and the courage to do it. When your friends, family, or even girlfriend try to tell you, oh, you shouldn't do that, I'm going to tell you right now, you keep your distance away from your friends and family, and you dump the girlfriend. You dump her. You dump her to the curb immediately. I am telling you now. If she doesn't support you in your goals, and you're the type that actually is going to sacrifice a lot to get there, dump her. Because at the end of the day, women were never meant to build with you. Honestly, they were low-key just meant low-key. High-key just meant to just kind of settle for their best option. Meet you at the top. Now, don't get me wrong, there are women who will support you, yes. Those are the ones you should strive to actually search for thoroughly. But in the long term, don't expect women in general to support you. That's just something you should not expect. As a guy, you should expect and sometimes even want or crave to be on the journey alone for most of the time. I'm not saying it got to be the whole journey, but for most of it, or at least in the early stages, be at it alone so you don't have no one nagging in your ear about why is it just taking this long? Why haven't you, done this? Why, this, that, and the third. It's just nagging. It's just like a bug or a mosquito or a fly that you just want to flick away, like just thump, like get away from me, shoot. That's kind of how you're kind of craving it. But I'm telling you, when you're in that mind, because it's always been thought like, there's certain people who still have this belief that guys, who live with their parents, like men who live with their parents, are bums, essentially. And any woman who says that, if y'all ever heard that narrative, women who say that's because they've messed with guys who were actually bums, who actually didn't try, who actually did not, grind and sacrifice. So that's why certain women have this analogy and this perception or perspective that guys who live with their parents don't do nothing because they've been with bums and actually legitimately thought that, oh yeah, I see that he's a bum, but I have faith he's going to change. Come on now. You really thought that? It's one thing to be optimistic, but if the optimism isn't, occurring, then yeah, he's just going to stay the same. So that's why it's like, yeah, that and just one or few bad experiences like that, basically lack of picking and lack of options, I guess, it just throws off their whole, belief. And that right there in itself, in their own state of mind, for certain women, mind you, should be the reason where it's like, yeah, I'm not relying on that. No. That's probably how you think. You know what? If you got to be a little narcissistic, just think that all women are like that. If you really want to go into that narcissism right there, that positive narcissism, just be like, you know what? That's how most women are. You ain't got to say all, but most, and just kind of just be like, you know what? I don't expect nothing from them. I'm going to do me. Whoever I meet along the way is who I get with. If we vibing, we vibing. They cool with me, we cool. Kind of have that narcissism, positive narcissism, right? But still keep an open mind, if that makes sense. Because that's how I look at it, I'm a little narcissistic when it comes to that, but I still keep an open mind nonetheless, Because it's not all women that are like that. But I still don't expect a woman to, kind of be willing to support me and all that, So it's like, you're counting on you, but if someone is willing to, support you, and, why not? The more support is the better. But at the end of the day, that's really essentially the end of this video. I mean, it's nothing too crazy, kind of quick, sweet, to the point. If this resonated with you in any way, shape, or form, comment down below. Let me know any other future videos you may want to see. If you know someone who's in this particular situation and, want to move out, or, kind of just lazy and just don't want to at all, it's ridiculous, share this video with them. That way they get an insight. Hopefully this can kind of get them riled up and motivated to get off their behind and actually make something happen before it's too late. But like I said, comment, like, subscribe, comment any other future videos you may want to see. Until next time, I'm going to see you on the next one.